Comedy with Joe Brand as a nurse on a geriatric ward. Getting On is tonight at 10. Right now on BBC Two, another battle of the best.
Tonight, 4 former Mastermind champions face each other for the first time. First, David Clarke, champion in 2007, answers questions on the tapestry that tells one of history's great stories. Patricia Owen, the 1973 champion, on the man who set Noah's flood to music. Leslie Grout, Mastermind champion in 1981, on the final resting places of London. And Pat Gibson, champion in 2005, on the company that changed the face of film animation. 4 former winners, 2 rounds of questions, 1 aimed to become the Mastermind champion of champions. Welcome to Mastermind Champion of Champions with me, John Humphreys. Tonight, we have former winners from the 70s, the 80s and the noughties, all hoping to claim a place in the final and become the champion of champions. To do that, they will have to go through the same ordeal as before. 2 minutes under the spotlight, answering questions first on specialist subjects and then on their general knowledge. Who will emerge victorious? Well, let's find out and ask our first former champion to join us, please. And your name is?
David Clarke.
Your occupation?
Teacher.
And your specialist subject?
The Bayer Tapestry.
David Clarke, come and receive your trophy.
I'd had a dream 3 nights before in which I'd won. And it was exactly the same. When the floor manager was coming up and telling me, this is where Sally Magnuson is going to present you with the trophy, this is where you stand, John will say this, you will go and sit down, I was thinking, no, this is the point I wake up. When this happened before, I woke up. It took a while to sink in. I've been a fan of the show since I was about 8 years old when it started in 1972, and I used to watch with my grandmother in her front room. And she once made the prediction when I was about 12 years old. She said, you know, one day you'll go on that and win that. And now to come back as a champion, you know, I think, Nan, you were looking after me that day of the final.
2 minutes on the Bayer Tapestry, starting now. What material was used on the linen to embroider the images of the tapestry?
Worsted wool, 2-ply.
Yes, in 1944 the tapestry was secretly moved for safety to the vaults of which museum, going on display there later in the year?
The Louvre.
Yes, under what name does Westminster Abbey appear on the tapestry during the burial of King Edward?
The Church of St. Peter the Apostle.
Yes, according to some scholars. Who is the designer of the tapestry whose name is given above the depiction of a dwarf groom?
Thorold.
Yes, which Aesop fable features on the bottom border in the scene where Harold is about to board his ship for Normandy?
Fox and the Crow.
Yes, who was the local lawyer who saved the tapestry in 1792 when a military contingent wanted to use it as a cover for their wagons?
Lombard Leonard Le Forestier.
Yes, how does Count Conan make his escape from William and Harold in the scene depicting the attack on the town of Dol?
Climbs down a rope.
Yes, what name was the former Bayer seminary given when it opened as the new home of the tapestry in 1983?
Centre Guillaume le Conquérant.
Yes, who's believed to be the figure seated at William's left hand in the scene where he's just received the news of Harold's accession?
Odo.
Yes, according to the 1476 inventory of Bayer Cathedral, for which feast day was the tapestry hung around the nave?
Feast of Relics, 1st of July.
Yes, the tapestry depicts Harold saving 2 soldiers from the quicksand of which river while he was travelling with William?
Cousnon in French, Cosnonis on the tapestry.
Yes, in the mysterious scene which has never been fully explained, what appears in the border below the image of Lady Elfgiva and the Clark?
Pass.
What does William order to be constructed immediately after hearing of Harold's accession to the throne?
Ships.
Yes, in 1824, which French antiquarian presented the currently held opinion that the tapestry was commissioned by Bishop Odo?
Le Chaudet d'Anici.
Delaunay. How many men are seated at the curved table in the feast scene following the Norman invasion?
6.
Yes, where in Sussex is Harold's estate to which he and his retinue ride after his meeting with King Edward at the start of the tapestry?
Bosom.
Yes, what is the Latin inscription meaning these men marvel at the star above the group pointing at the image of Halley's Comet?
Iste Mirant Stellam.
Yes, a pair of which animals appeared in the border directly above William in the scene where he's riding to meet Harold and Count Guy?
Winged lions.
Camels. What ornamentation does a workman appear to be adding to Westminster Abbey in the scene depicting the exterior of the building after Harold visits the dying King Edward?
A weather vane.
Yes. What is the name, I've started so I'll finish, of the knight whom William questions at Hastings about whether Harold's army has been sighted?
Vital.
It is indeed. You had one pass. It's a naked man who appears in the border below the image of Lady Alkeeber and the Clerk. You have, however, David Clark, 17 points. And our next former champion, please. And your name is?
Patricia Owen.
Your occupation?
Retired lecturer.
And your specialist subject?
The operas of Benjamin Britten.
From all of us, many congratulations.
Thank you very much indeed. I was champion in 1973, and it was recorded in the University of Guildford. There was a great deal made of it being another female winner. There was a piece in the Times, another woman, why are women winning, etc., etc. And when the show was aired and the local paper came round to interview the family, someone asked my husband, did he mind having a clever wife? And thank God he said he would mind very much if she were not.
The operas of Benjamin Britten in 2 minutes starting now. At which American university did Paul Bunyan receive its first performance in May 1941? It ran for just 1 week and was not performed again until 1974.
Columbia, New York.
Correct. In Peter Grimes, what musical form is used for the interlude between the two scenes of Act 2?
Passacaglia.
Correct. When Albert Herring drinks his doctored lemonade, Britten makes a musical reference to which of Wagner's music dramas?
No idea.
What was the name of the English poet and dramatist who wrote the libretto for The Rape of Lucretia?
Paul Duncan.
Ronald Duncan. Which line from Yeats' The Second Coming is sung by the ghosts in The Turn of the Screw?
The ceremony of innocence is drowned.
Correct. How many acts did Billy Budd contain at its first performance in 1951?
4.
Yes, in the libretto for A Midsummer Night's Dream. In what way is the line compelling thee to marry with Demetrius different from the rest of the text?
It's not written by Shakespeare.
Correct. Which song from Gloriana is based on a poem by the 16th century Earl of Essex?
Happy were he.
Correct. What ecclesiastical refrain is sung by the animals as they enter the ark in Noah's flood?
Kyrie eleison.
Yes. Which distinguished artist worked on the stage designs and costumes for many of Britain's operas from The Rape of Lucretia onwards?
John Piper.
Correct. Whose words to Phaedrus from Plato's dialogues are incorporated into Act 2 of Death in Venice?
Pass.
Which two notes clashed during the opening bar of Billy Budd as one of its principal musical ideas?
Pass.
In Gloriana, whose attempt to intercede on behalf of Essex offends Queen Elizabeth and causes her to sign the Earl's death warrant?
Penelope Rich.
Yes. Which conductor was responsible for commissioning Peter Grimes in 1945?
Kusevitsky.
Correct. What instrumental family plays the second of the 4 sleep chords in Act 2 of A Midsummer Night's Dream?
Woodwind.
No, the brass. What's the first of 2 nursery rhymes used in The Turn of the Screw?
Lavender's Blue.
Yes. Which singer created the roles of Swallow in Peter Grimes, Collatinus in Lucretia, Noah in Noah's Flood, and Bottom in A Midsummer Night's Dream?
Lumsden.
Owen Brannigan. You had 3 passes, those 2 notes that clashed during the opening bars of Billy Budd, B flat and B natural. It was Socrates whose words are incorporated into Act 2. And when Herring drinks his doctored lemonade, Britten makes a reference to Tristan und Isolde.
Oh, yes.
So there we are, 3 passes, but you have Patricia Owen, 11 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Leslie Grout.
Your occupation?
Retired schoolmaster.
And your specialist subject?
Burial grounds of London.
There was certainly a lot of press attention the very night I won. I was dying to get to the buffet. I was ravenous. First it was the Times, then the Telegraph, the Mail, the Mirror. and the time went by and the food got less, and I went through the card with all the papers. I taught in a junior school, and I told the children on the Friday to look out for television on Sunday night. Monday morning, 2 children asked for my autograph.
Burial grounds of London in 2 minutes starting now. In 1833, which cemetery became the first commercial garden cemetery to open in London?
Kensal Green.
Yes, opened in 1841, which was the last of the so-called Magnificent 7 new London cemeteries.
Brompton.
Tower Hamlets. In Brompton Cemetery, there's a monument to Frederick Leyland by which pre-Raphaelite artist?
Burne-Jones.
Correct. The New Southgate Cemetery contains the remains of Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of which faith founded by his great-grandfather?
Baha'i.
Yes, where are the remains of both the sugar magnate Sir Henry Tate and the arms manufacturer Sir Hiram Maxim?
Norwood.
Yes, West Norwood. Which London cemetery contains an Egyptian avenue in the Circle of Lebanon surrounding a 300-year-old cedar tree?
Highgate.
Yes, Frank Bourne, who died in 1945, was buried at Crystal Palace District Cemetery, was the last survivor of which military action of January 1879?
Onderman.
A Rorke's Drift, a monument in the shape of what piece of furniture is placed over the grave of the Victorian songwriter Henry Russell?
A chair.
Yeah, an old armchair. Which Sussex and England cricketer who died in 1884 at the age of 57 is buried at Brompton Cemetery?
John Wisdom.
Yes, a massive white marble cross stands in the old part of Woolwich Cemetery, commemorating the loss of a steamer that sank in the Thames in September 1878 with a loss of over 500 people. What was its name?
Princess Alice.
Yes, in which London burial ground are John Bunyan, Daniel Defoe and William Blake all interred?
Bunhill Fields.
Correct, whose remains were exhumed from Highgate Cemetery in December 1907 in order to prove whether or not he'd actually existed.
Mr. Druce.
Yes, which circus owner known as the Colossus of Equestrians has beehives and sphinxes on his Egyptian-style tomb in Kensal Green Cemetery?
Ducrow.
Yes, of what material are the roof tiles of the tomb of Sir Henry Doulton and his family at West Norwood Cemetery constructed?
Terracotta.
Correct. Which cemetery for the burial of nonconformists has hieroglyphics over its gate lodges that translate as the gates of the abode of the mortal part of man?
Abney Park.
Yes, who designed the formal layout of Brompton Cemetery based on the plan of a great cathedral with an entrance like a triumphal arch?
Board.
Yes, which cemetery contains an obelisk commemorating 5 Scottish political activists who were transported to Botany Bay in 1794?
Nunhead.
Nunhead is correct. No passes. Leslie Grouch, you have 15 points. And our final champion, please. And your name is?
Pat Gibson.
Your occupation?
I'm a software developer and egghead.
And your chosen subject?
The feature films from the Pixar Animation Studio.
And the winner of Mastermind 2005, Patrick Gibson.
When John Humphreys told me I won, it was a great feeling, tremendous. A great relief. I mean, you're under pressure, you're under time pressure, and you're under a spotlight, so you're not sure how many you've got right, whether you've done enough to do the job, so it's a great relief.
You've just won £1 million.
I competed in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Mastermind and Brain of Britain and various other things. I was a very keen quizzer, and when the opportunity came to try to become an egghead, I took it, and eventually I managed to win through, which was very, very satisfying.
The Pixar films in 2 minutes starting now. Who provides a voice in all of the first 10 Pixar films, including a Yeti in Monsters, Inc., The Underminer in The Incredibles and Mac in Cars?
John Ratzenberger.
Yes, what song plays over the closing credits of Finding Nemo?
Beyond the Sea.
Yes, when Buzz Lightyear first appears in Toy Story, he says he's crash-landed on a strange planet and awoken from hyperspace while en route to where?
Sector 12.
Yes, what does the acronym WALL-E stand for in the title of the 2008 film?
Waste allocation load lifter Earth class.
Correct. Who's been the main writer of the Pixar films, co-writing 6 of the first 10, including Toy Story 2, for which he also provided the voice of Emperor Zurg?
Andrew Stanton.
Yes, at the beginning of Cars, Lightning McQueen is seen advertising which medicated bumper ointment?
Rusties.
Yes, what's the name of the cat that Mr. Incredible rescues from a tree on the way to his wedding with Elastigirl?
Squeaker.
Yes, after saving his father's life, what job is Remy given by him at the beginning of Ratatouille?
He's a poison checker.
He is. Which song from the 2001 film Monsters, Inc., sung during the end credits by John Goodman and Billy Crystal, won the Academy Award for Best Song?
If I Didn't Have You.
Yes, the film Up's about an elderly widower named Carl Friedrichsen and a young boy called Russell who needs to earn which badge in order to become a senior wilderness explorer?
Assisting the elderly.
Yes, when Dory and Marlin encountered the whale near Sydney, what does the absent-minded Dory say Nemo's name is?
Remy.
Bingo, later a star in the television series Heroes, who provides the voice of Dot, a young princess in the Ant Royal family in A Bug's Life.
Hayden Panettiere.
Yes, at Andy's birthday party in Toy Story, he receives the Buzz Lightyear doll, a lunchbox, a bed sheet, and what board game?
Battleship.
Yes, in Cars, what's the name of the cafe in Radiator Springs on Route 66, near to which Lightning McQueen crashes and is arrested?
It's Flo's V8.
It is. What is the name of the prospector voiced by Kelsey Grammer in Toy Story 2?
Stinky Pete.
Yes, which composer won several awards for Up, including the Oscar for Best Original Score?
Michael Giacchino.
Correct. What's the name of the monster seen failing the child scaring simulation at the beginning of Monsters, Inc.?
He's Bile, known as Flem.
Yes, Mr. Bile. When Mr. Incredible visits Edna Mode to get his suit fixed, she vetoes his idea of a cape. Which superhero does she say was sucked into a vortex while wearing one?
Stratogale.
Splashstone is the correct answer to that. No passes back, Gibson. You have 16 points. Close round there. Let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place with 11 points, Patricia Owen. Third place with 15 points, Leslie Grout. Second place with 16 points, Pat Gibson. In the lead, just with 17 points, David Clark. Round two now, general knowledge. If there's a tie at the end of the round, then the number of passes is taken into account, and the contender with the fewer passes is the winner. And if they're tied on passes as well, then there is a tie break. So let's get on with it and ask Patricia Owen to join us again, if she would, please. And you begin with 11 points with your knowledge of Britain and his operas. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. In which country is the volcano whose ash cloud severely disrupted commercial air traffic in April and May 2010?
Iceland.
Yes, the second part of which 1898 science fiction novel is subtitled The Earth Under the Martians?
By H.G. Wells, anyway.
According to Somerset Maugham, what meal should you have 3 times a day if you want to eat well in England?
Breakfast.
Yes, which important family of plants includes bamboo, sugarcane and cereals such as wheat, rye and corn?
Pass.
Well, the name of which part of the British Isles appears in the title of James Boswell's narrative account of a journey he made in 1773 with Samuel Johnson?
The Hebrides.
Yes, in 1792, which celebrated Spanish painter suffered an illness that left him permanently deaf?
Goya?
Yes. What word, partly of Dutch origin, describes a significant wind system that changes direction with the seasons?
Van Humboldt?
Monsoon. In which country did the May the 4th movement of 1919 develop from a student protest into a nationwide anti-Japanese sentiment?
Pass.
Which village and tourist centre in the Snowdonia National Park has a name meaning prayer house in the wood? Its nearby attractions include the Swallow Falls.
Oh, Llangollen.
Betws-y-Coed. Which word for a sentimental longing for the past comes from the Greek words for homecoming and pain?
Nostalgia.
Yes, who was appointed Archbishop of Canterbury in 1533 is often regarded as the architect of the Church of England?
Cranmer.
Yes, which American entrepreneur helped to popularise amateur photography with his Kodak roll film technology?
Eastman.
Yes, in 1902 the popularity of the early gramophone was increased when which singer recorded 10 arias in a Milan hotel room?
Domingo.
Caruso. Which national museum that opened at the Crystal Palace in 1920 is now located elsewhere in South London with other branches around the country?
Pass.
In Greek mythology, who, by opening a box, released all the ills of human life with only hope remaining within?
Pandora.
Yes, at which palace near Naples was a celebrated royal porcelain factory established in the 18th century?
Oh, I should know this. Pass.
Well, I can tell you because time is up. It's Capodimonte.
Of course.
Of course. Your other passes, it's the Imperial War Museum that was opened in 1920. China was where the May the 4th movement happened. That family of plants is grass. And H.G. Wells's War of the Worlds.
Yes.
Which, of course, you knew as well. You have, Patricia Owen, a total of 19 points. And now Leslie Grout again, please. And you begin with 15 points with your knowledge of the burial places of London. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which sweet fruit with a smooth, shiny skin and firm flesh is a variety of peach?
Nectarine.
Yes, in 1881, which French artist exhibited a sculpture of a young ballerina dressed in real fabrics?
Degas.
Yes, what legal term refers to a person's release following a criminal trial?
Discharge.
Acquittal. From the 1860s onwards, which leading German composer began to use the leitmotif technique to help opera goers recognise themes and characters?
Wagner.
Yes, which American president was one of the signatories of the Treaty of Versailles at the end of the First World War?
Wilson.
Yes, who became the first overseas manager to win the FA Cup when Chelsea defeated Middlesbrough at Wembley in 1997?
Marino.
No, Ruud Gullit. Which Stephen Ambrose book became an acclaimed television series takes its title from a speech in Shakespeare's Henry V?
Once more into the breach.
Band of Brothers. To which honorary post did Professor Sir Martin Rees succeed Professor Arnold W. Wolfendale in 1995?
President of the Royal Society.
Astronomer Royal. In Greek mythology, what's the name of the princess that Agamemnon took back from Troy to be his concubine and who was murdered by his wife Clytemnestra?
Oh, heavens. Agrippina.
Cassandra. Which branch of mathematics is concerned with solving problems related to triangles?
Trigonometry.
Yes, which television sitcom featured the stingy shopkeeper Arkwright and his long-suffering nephew Granville?
Open all hours.
Yes, what name is given to the ventilation tube developed by the German Navy during the Second World War, which permitted extended underwater travel in a submarine?
Periscope.
Snorkel. Which village in West Yorkshire is famous for its giant pies, usually baked to celebrate national special occasions and events?
Denby.
Yes, Denby Dale. Which American writer had several of her novels adapted for the cinema, including Strangers on a Train and more recently The Talented Mr. Ripley?
McCullers.
Highsmith, Richard Highsmith. The Arnold Feeney Contemporary Arts Centre hosted the second of the televised leaders' debates during the 2010 election campaign. In which city is it?
Edinburgh.
Bristol. What name is given to the bud and root producing rhizome or fleshy underground stem of plants such as the crocus and gladioli?
Corn.
Yes. Which foreign policy theory popularised by President Eisenhower, I'll finish the question, argued that as a country came under communist rule, its neighbours would too?
Association.
The domino theory. Remember Vietnam and all that? No passes. Leslie Grout, 23 points. And now Pat Gibson, please. And you begin with 16 points with your knowledge of Pixar films. 23 is the score to beat at the moment. See how you do with your general knowledge. Here we go. Which pop singer born in 1936 adopted the name of the composer of the opera Hansel and Gretel?
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes, which member of the Crow family is distinguished by its red down-curved beak and red legs?
Chuff.
Yes, what title in the Anglican Church, literally meaning rule, refers to a priest who was formerly entitled to keep all the tithes levied in their parish?
Deacon.
Recto. Which gourmet condiment produced from fermented grape juice has been made in Medina in Italy since medieval times?
Balsamic vinegar.
Yes, which celebrated English novelist campaigned against censorship and in 1934 became the first president of the National Council for Civil Liberties?
Priestley.
Forster. The easternmost island of the Greater Antilles lies between the Dominican Republic and the Virgin Islands. What's it called?
Montserrat.
Puerto Rico. Which American actor died in 1982 in an accident while making a film version of the television series The Twilight Zone?
Murray.
Yes. Which European language is spoken in countries that are described as Lusophone?
Portuguese.
Correct. Who's the title character of the television comedy series that has had medieval, Elizabethan, Regency and First World War settings?
Blackadder.
Yes. Which Austrian immunologist discovered the rhesus factor in blood and the ABO group system?
Herdinger.
Landsteiner. In 2007, which American football team met the Miami Dolphins in the first regular season NFL game played at London's Wembley Stadium?
Dallas Cowboys.
The Giants. What name is given to Muhammad's journey from Mecca to Medina in 622, which marks the starting point of the Islamic calendar?
Hijra.
Correct. The three spires of which English cathedral are commonly referred to as the Ladies of the Veil?
Lichfield.
Yes, which British group followed up their 1966 debut album with the release of Disraeli Gears in 1967?
Cream.
Yes, which German-born architect, a former director of the Bauhaus, co-designed the Seagram building in New York?
Mies van der Rohe.
Yes, what is the shortened one-word title of the 18th century reference work edited by Diderot and d'Alembert?
Encyclopédie.
Yes, which Canadian coined the term "the medium is the message"?
McLuhan.
Yes, the restaurant Noma, which in 2010 replaced Spain's El Bulli at the top of the San Pellegrino list of the world's 50 best restaurants, is in which country?
Denmark.
Yes, in 1921, who became the first female author to win the Pulitzer Prize for fiction with the novel The Age of Innocence?
Wharton.
Indeed it is, and that takes you to 30 points. And finally, David Clark, please. And you have 17 points with your knowledge of the Bio Tapestry. You have 30 to beat, which is a big score. 2 minutes starting now. What term was first used by the Daily Mail in 1906 to describe militant members of the Women's Social and Political Union?
Suffragettes.
Correct. Which city was founded by Ram Dass, the fourth guru, and is the religious centre of Sikhism?
Amritsar.
Yes. Which Australian bird, it can weigh up to 16 ounces, is one of the largest members of the kingfisher family?
Kookaburra.
Yes. Whose 1971 album, What's Going On, was rated 6th best of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. Its tracks include Mercy, Mercy Me.
Marvin Gaye.
Yes. In Shakespeare's tragedy Hamlet, what is the name of Hamlet's uncle?
Claudius.
Yes, which waterway was constructed to allow German ships to pass from the Baltic to the North Sea without navigating international waters?
Kiel Canal.
Yes, who scored an extraordinary winning goal for Real Zaragoza against Arsenal in the last minute of extra time in the 1995 final of the European Cup Winners' Cup?
Pass.
Which important English palace was destroyed by fire in 1834, leaving only a few structures, including the 14th century Jewel Tower?
Pass to Westminster.
Yes, in which 1979 film thriller about the dangers of nuclear energy does Jane Fonda play Kimberly Wells, a Los Angeles television reporter?
The China Syndrome.
Yes, in living organisms, what's produced in the cell particles called ribosomes using messenger ribonucleic acid?
Pass.
Which 18th century English writer who died at the age of 17 wrote poems he attributed to Thomas Rowley, a fictitious 15th century monk?
Thomas Chatterton.
Correct. The name of which French puppet is given to a lurid and violent form of drama that was particularly popular in Paris in the 19th century?
Pass.
What is the name of the building in Rome that was rebuilt by the Emperor Hadrian in the 2nd century AD and is still in use today as a church?
Pantheon.
Correct. What word describes a substance intentionally administered in order to induce vomiting, such as the drug ipecacuanha?
Emetic.
Yes, which Chinese religious philosophy's most important works were written by Lao Tse and Shangzi?
Taoism.
Correct. Who wrote the score for the 1908 French film L'Assassinat du Duc de Guise? It was the first film scored by a leading composer.
Debussy.
Sanson, which female BBC sport presenter played golf, netball and athletics for Scottish universities?
Helen Rolleston.
Hazel Irvine. Which country's cuisine features a traditional stew called bigos and savoury filled dumplings called pierogi?
Italy.
Poland in 1938. Who spoke of peace with honour, peace for our time?
Neville Chamberlain.
Neville Chamberlain is correct. You have 3 passes. The name of that French puppet is Guignol. Protein is what those living organisms produce, protein strands, and the goal scorer for Real Zaragoza was Naim.
Yeah, played for Spurs, but I couldn't remember his name.
That's the way it goes. It's a pity because you have 30 points. Well, I said it was going to be close. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 19 points, Patricia Owen. 3rd place with 23 points, Leslie Grout. 2nd place with 30 points and 4 passes, David Clark. 1st place with 30 points and no passes, Pat Gibson. Which means that Pat Gibson is tonight's winner. Congratulations to him. Commiserations to all our former champions. But it has been a pleasure seeing them again and reliving some of those great moments. So if you would like to play an online version of Mastermind, or indeed to be a contender in the real thing on the next series, then do go to our website, bbc.co.uk/Mastermind, and do join us tomorrow for the final of Mastermind Champion of Champions. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
She was the star of many wildlife films. Echo, the unforgettable elephant, to look back at her memorable life with Natural World next on BBC Two. And then facing regulation for the first time, the Victorian pharmacy has to keep a check on the potions at 9.